Hello, my name is Kafui Dey. How does the son of a humble fisherman end up being a general in the Ghana Armed Forces and serve not once but twice as Chief of Defense Staff? Answer coming up in this chat. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time to do it so that you can get the alerts when the next interview comes up. My guest is Brigadier General Joseph Nunoo Mensah, retired. It's good to see you, sir.
I'm glad to be here.
How does it feel to be approaching your 90th year on Earth?
Before I answer your question, many funny things happen as you go through life. About a month ago, I had a funny dream. I slept for about 8 hours without waking up. So such deep sleep was not common to me, but like a revelation. And I saw the world in which I had moved into, not this world. And as long as I said, look, go back to where you are coming from. Then I said to myself, I was sleeping all this. But you are very happy where you are. Why do you want to go back? So I began to honestly question myself. Come back and do what? I realized that I have a job to do. So I have to come back,
And continue the assignment.
some assignment, and then if you want, you can go back.
That was a strange dream.
Very, very strange. And frankly speaking, I began to love to die. A very strange dream. Rather than run away from death, I ran into
You want to embrace it, rather. Do you think about death a lot as you're approaching 90?
No, I don't. I have a funny way of living. I don't want to think. I want to think. The brain, you can think the whole day, but I can switch off the brain. I switch it off, and I sleep. I'm able to switch it off. I can switch it off and sleep right now here. What I'm able to do that many people cannot do.
How do you switch off your brain?
I just refuse to think about anything.
Is it as a result of your military training?
Huh?
Is it as a result of your training as a soldier?
No, it's not the training. I think it's my nature. I've done so much in my life that I don't think I have anything more to do. You've done all that you can. Why worry? The world doesn't seem to be perfect, but there's not much we can do. So why worry about
just
something
accept it.
happen?
So you just accept.
Switch off.
And go to sleep. Are you surprised that you're still here after almost 9 decades?
I have a belief that there's a purpose for my being here. When I look at the world, I've been around for many places, going to school. As you know, at Sandhurst, this big military school in the world. I still communicate with some of my friends, talk to them on phone. I bring them and talk. If I was going to invite some of them to Ghana about this time, then I said to myself, I went to my hometown, Winneba already, and I didn't like the road at all. I said, how can I drive on this road to Winneba with this man? So, drop the idea of inviting them. So, I haven't, and I've been almost everywhere. So I asked myself, but you came from Norway. How can you be everywhere? You're a fisherman catching crabs and fishing Winneba. How come you are where you are? How did you get here? And I know that I think that from my almost 90 years of life, I've learned quite a lot about life, about the world. It's a funny world. People do things to you that you don't know why they do them. If you read my memoirs, I've talked about a lady by the name Mrs. Gibson. It's like a journey. You're on a journey. You come to a roadblock, and somebody cleared the roadblock, and then you move on.
Mrs. Gibson gave you an opportunity of a scholarship.
Yes.
To fund your education.
Yes. The education side was a problem. And the first time I went to school, I took the cloth I slept with, the same cloth, put it around my neck, and went to school.
Like the collar?
The collar. And all along the way, it's been a difficult journey. But every time you met some difficulty, the barrier was removed and we moved on. And it went on like this. This Gibson's case, 1958, 59, I completed school to go and work at the harbor, carry cocoa, cement, to save money to go to secondary school. And at that point, the money has all run out. One morning, Saturday morning, I was at the house, cleaning the house, going home and come back. And then she said, look, Nunoo Mensah, who pays your school fees? As if she knew my thoughts. I think about school fees. I wasn't able to raise money to pay, continue education. And she asked me, who pays your school fees? I said, my mother pays my school fees. Oh, mother, what does she do? She sells the market, ordinary foodstuff. How does she raise the money to pay your school fees? Where is she? I said, my mother is in the house. It's a Monday morning. It was Saturday. Bring your mother to my house by 8 o'clock. I will take her to Accra and get you a scholarship. And she did exactly that. So I could continue with my education. So every time there was some, I mean, all along the way, there had been similar, stories. So I find that, I mean, to come to the title of the book, I conjure from nowhere. I don't follow the crowd. I found that I was different from my siblings. Different, I did things that were quite different. If you give me a thought about something, I would think about it. If I didn't like it, I would never take it. If it's good, I would take it. I remember there were my mates who were clever and then had the money, resources to continue education from elementary school to middle school and then to secondary school. Some of them, I used to go and collect their books and study after they had completed education. Their school notebooks and study them. Many of them had grade 2. I had one who told I said was to learn. Got grade 1.
And you were the first person in your school to get the grade 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
The first ever. It never happened before. Did exam also in the exam at the Makola. You can imagine the noise there.
So back then, the school you attended for secondary at Winneba was not an exam center, so you had to move to a center, correct?
We had to do it at Makola.
Accra.
You
left the Central Region to go to Accra?
Yes.
In a cinema, right?
The nearest
exam center was Accra. So,
and nowhere but in the heart of Makola.
That was your exam center?
That's right.
They converted a cinema hall into...
It's a huge place. The noise, you couldn't mind. But see, human beings are very interesting. When you are filled with this kind of situation, the brain doesn't hear anything.
You can switch off.
Yes.
Cut it out.
Only the Latin or
yes.
mathematical literature, Macbeth or something. That's what you remember. So what we went through, life was not... It's as... I wouldn't say it was much difficult than we have. Somehow we managed to wade our way through and come to succeed enough to become somebody from that modest background. But again, I believe that society was very kind to its people. Everybody took interest in your well-being. Not today. So nobody cares about you. You have to care for yourself. I wouldn't think about how we eat this evening. Those days.
Yes.
I know I will eat. What I will eat, I didn't know, but I will.
But you're going to eat.
Not today.
It was a completely different time.
Yes.
I want you to cast your mind back to some of the earliest recollections you have. What are some of your earliest memories?
Yes.
What's the things that you remember from your earliest childhood?
Very, very. Well, let me go back to 1945 when I began schooling.
So you were about 9 years old then?
8, 9 years old. That's right. Because I was fishing. Nowhere near the classroom. Then like a revelation.
You were fishing where? On the seas? On the high seas?
If you know Winneba, there are many. My father fished. There were many fishing expeditions. Some deep into the sea, some along the coast. There were the finest fishes were caught along the coast, eaten by the gentlemen of the sea. And you went through all this experience. I'm catching crabs. I don't know whether whether you've seen some before.
I've never caught crabs. So you made traps?
Yeah, no, you don't have traps. Well, you have traps. We make a box and then try to trap the crab. And they go into the box to get the cassava, whatever, and then as they pull the thing out,
The trap door shuts down.
it goes up.
And then what do you do with the crabs?
You collect them, tie them up, come and sell them.
Oh, it was a business.
It
It wasn't just consumption.
No, it was a business. I mean, that's how you survive. That's how you survive.
You sold the crabs.
Yes. You sold them and made money to pay your school fees. I mean, we've come a long, hard way. But we succeeded because society, as I said, society was kind to us. We were easily given. You know, not like today where nobody cares about anybody but themselves.
What was your family like growing up? How many siblings did you have?
I was the third born. We were four altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe, from what I learned later, so we didn't talk to our parents, not like today. But I believe that they might have lost one or two
Mm-hmm.
children along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But those that survived and lived to become grown-ups were four. I was the third one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was a fisherman. Second was a fisherman. Then he veered off into carpentry.
Okay.
Then I came. I was fishing and I said, well, this is not my business. So let me.
You just decided that you're not going to be a fisherman.
Yes. My father time when he came back, and I was weeping all the time. And I said, but I want to go to school. He said, but everybody's a fisherman here.
Mm-hmm.
His brothers, and their cousins, they were all fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of that life was when they get about 3, 4 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
when it's time for their dinner, it was a beauty to watch. Lay a long table with this fisherman, everybody with a towel around his neck. And there is this table. With so many, with all the Futus didn't live with their wives. The Guans, we are Guans. So the wives lived in their own homes, came to stay with the husband over the night and brought the food. So if your wife didn't cook for you, they didn't bother. There was so much kinky and live soup and everything was
In the
there.
community.
So just take your towel and
and sit and eat.
and have a good time. So this is one of the memories of life that I miss a lot. The beauty of community life. There were no telephones, no power. We never had power and running water. We never was a developed town, was a beautiful town, grown up. Many towns had no light, from electricity or even running water. Today, the water we drink, we have to, go buy a bottle of water because the water is not safe enough.
Mm-hmm.
But we drank this water, and nothing happened to us. When we had COVID-19, I don't know how many Ghanaians got it from Ghana. Must be a very small number. Well, our bodies have all been
Very,
purified.
very toughened up.
Hardened up. This is the thing. So, people like me, if you didn't die before you were 5, to die is not going to be easy.
Because you go through everything.
You go to everything.
Just checking out your educational journey, you went to a Basel school,
Yes.
you went to a Presbyterian school,
Yes.
then you also went to a Methodist school.
Yes.
These are denominations from various parts of Europe, Switzerland,
Yes.
Scotland,
Yes.
England,
But all at Winneba.
all in Winneba.
Yes.
Yes.
The reason was very simple. Winneba was a small town. And schools, there were few schools there. There was Methodist, there was not Presbyterian in those days. Anglican, AME Zion, and then Roman Catholic, AME Zion, Anglican, what Methodist. Then my house was just a stone throw from a Methodist school. That's what I should be.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, the new generation had caught up with education. So a few more people were going to school than before. No vacancy for me. I think God had ordained that I should go to school. My father had traveled. So when he came back, I went with a lot of, tears. And then, for some reason, at that very moment, the rumor that Presbyterian people from Switzerland, Basel, Switzerland, were going to set up this school, which was almost about 100 meters from my house, very close to my house, for some reason. So people like Donathan, whether you know Dr. Donathan.
Yes, indeed.
Was my class one classmate.
Mm-hmm.
He's now around, he's not a woman, so I can talk about his age. And 86. He's the smallest boy of the class. For us that didn't know where, when you were born, you have to put the right hand across your head and touch your
ear.
Your ear.
That was admission test.
I don't know how they knew that you could tell your age by touching your ear. If you couldn't touch your ear, it means that you're not old enough. So you go eat more kenke and come back the next
and try again.
But with all this, we managed to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was tough but enjoyable.
And the conditions of some of the schools that you attended were not the best. You actually wrote a letter to the Prime Minister, you and your friends.
That's right.
To complain.
Complain about the school was terrible. I mean, it wasn't the fault of the school. The CPP came to was formed around 1949. Was it?
Yes, 1949. Correct.
Okay.
June 12.
And they didn't have any education at the time, so they set up schools to implement a long-term plan of building CPP, and you know, and preparing young boys to join the party. So in 1949, they formed this school. There are a few of them. One was at Cape Coast, Winneba, and I think Kafui Dey or something, Ghana Secondary School. You know, formed the school. But then...
Even before Ghana was named Ghana.
Exactly. That's very interesting.
Mm.
So Nkrumah actually had this idea sewn up throughout his life. So when we got in there, I completed elementary school, went to work, cut crabs, had some money, prepare myself to go to school. You just get up and go to school. Where the school fee was going to come from, how it's going to come, you know, your way. All this had to be prepared. So when we came to school, the school was poorly financed. There was no money. School fees were around £25 a term to pay the teachers, feed you, and do so many other things. That could not happen. So I remember in 1958-59, things were really rough for us. Couldn't feed us. Luckily, I was from Winneba. My mother was around. My mother would cook once a day in the evening, our dinner from home, even though we were boarders. To go to a point where we thought, look, it's about time Ghana become independent, Nkrumah become prime minister, let's write to him and complain about not about the fault, it's not the fault of the school. The school, they couldn't cope with the fees we were paying. And Nkrumah did something which I couldn't, and you know, I couldn't fathom. We thought this letter would be thrown away from schoolboys, anonymous letter. But the content of the letter was such that Nkrumah, I'm sure, I gave orders to attract Safa. I said anything as it came. It came to him, he communicated it to somebody. Within a week, 10 days, the letter being written, a lady arrived from, I think, as Yasantua or St. Louis in Kumasi, took over the school and turned it round. So that is how I, for one, had a chance to become who I am today.
What is that lesson for leaders of the 21st century? I mean, in terms of responsiveness to complaints, what does that teach?
I believe that these leaders are not ordinary. You know, leaders are not just ordinary people. I think if you look at, we have had leaders in our long history, my life. They were very different. Some are very different. Different from those we have today. I was, for example, I will come back to this, but I was, for example, in India, as you would have read, 1975. Mm-hmm. Indira Gandhi was the prime minister at the time. I never thought I would ever go to India. Went there for 1 year. My children were very young, 5, 3, and 1 year old. And you have these leaders that they are human. They being human, you will err. To err is human. But if they err, it was not deliberate to err. They made mistakes. Nkrumah, I'm sure, made mistakes. The Gandhi made mistakes. The Gandhi at one time arrested all the opposition leaders and locked them. I was in India then, 1975. Of course, he was assassinated by the Sikh terrorists who were actually guarding him. So these leaders, I don't believe that anybody can become a leader. I don't believe. You have to have certain things in you.
I mean, her humility and her lack of ceremony was something that was remarkable to you. Indira Gandhi, she moved around without much.
Indira Gandhi, one day, she came to the college. This is the highest college in India.
National Defense College.
National Defense College. And she came with a car that everybody was driving. I mean, Ambassador. It's a Vanguard, British car, which was built in India. This original old model. She came with that car there, with a policeman, in front of the car, and an aide and driver, 4 of them. There was no protection for her.
No convoy?
No convoy.
No sirens?
No, nothing. I mean, I think that she was safer that way. He had a cloth, to put a cloth out not to see who was in the car.
That's it.
Otherwise, she was ordinary.
What do you make of the now these days? I even see one car sirens, maybe a motorbike in front of just one car, and they're pushing you out of the way, and they're in a hurry to go somewhere.
No, I didn't believe in that. If the car was used as serious, it's still parked in my car. If I put a battery on it, it would start. I bought a Benz car, not the first one. This was the second one I bought. I was at the NDC in India, and I bought this car. The car is still motorable. We are not flamboyant in those days. Ordinary people, I don't know. I mean, I've seen leaders who are very ordinary. In the Ghana was an example. Even in Nkrumah wasn't. Nkrumah didn't have a car. Today our leaders want to drive what? Aeroplanes, private aeroplanes, and go around. But
Do you think Ghana needs one? Do you think Ghana needs a private? Does the Ghanaian president need
Ghana needs what?
Do you think we need a private jet, a presidential jet?
If you can't buy Gary, you want to buy a private jet. No, I mean,
you can't buy Gary, you want a plane, eh?
No, these are practical. Practical. I mean, when I began writing my memoirs, and I told my son was pestering me. He said he knew me. Okay, I was a father, but nothing more. Where do I come from? So, more about myself. When I was writing the memoir, it was a computer, and I wore shoes when I was in secondary school. So he said, "What?" He said, "You didn't wear shoes." He didn't believe it. I didn't wear shoes. Till I went to secondary school before I began to wear shoes. When I was in a Presbyterian boarding school, we were just going to church on Sundays, white, and without any shoe on.
So you get to the church and what? Your feet are dusty?
They are dusty, but that's the way we live. So between my generation and your generation,
a lot happened.
It's a huge difference.
You ended up in the military, but before that part of your life, you nearly got sacked when you were in school.
I wasn't a bad boy.
It was a threat.
My problem was that this school you don't pass in that school. With that kind of background, education, food, you will not pass. We'll go to Achimota or something, and you want to compete with them from that background. So we said, look, let us try hard to work.
Mm-hmm.
In 1959, Mrs. Gibson was there temporarily, set up the school and left. Nkrumah removed her.
The woman who got you the scholarship?
That's right. Uh-huh. She didn't last long. Nkrumah wanted to clear up the mess and then go away. Then she went away. But before she left, there was a gentleman from Dr. Foley, P.K. Foley, St. Augustine. You wouldn't know him. He was a no-nonsense man. And he declared that, and then we moved from our old school to, today we call it Central Campus in Winneba. That's where we moved. There I completed my school. And this might decree that everybody must be in bed by 10 p.m. You are anxious to pass the exam. Nobody ever passed. So you're worried. We want to buy candles and lanterns and learn, you're hiding to learn. Not that you're committing a crime. No. Just struggling to pass the exam, to become somebody in the future. And this man caught us learning. Not that we've done anything criminal, anything wrong. But because we had disobeyed his command not to study beyond 10 o'clock, took our names. Next morning, we were all going to be sacked for disobeying the order of the headmaster. So it wasn't that we did something criminal. And he asked us to go and bring our parents to the school to meet the headmaster. These chaps came from Brown and so on. And they go from Winneba Brown, bring your father for studying. Nothing but studying.
Didn't make sense to you?
Didn't make sense. Well, so we got some two elderly teachers, Mr. B.A. Mensah and elderly chap. There were two elderly teachers, begged them to go to the headmaster and on our behalf ask for forgiveness. That was why I was able to. Otherwise, we would have been dismissed from the school. Hey, not long ago, I was reading, was it 2 or 3 days ago? Somewhere, student beat a teacher because what?
Yes.
He refused to allow them to
cheat in exams.
I couldn't believe it. Well, I said, what? You are cheating, and when the teacher stopped from cheating, you beat him up? You are going to be sacked from learning. Because we disobeyed the teacher. You're going to beat the teacher up. Then what? The police said what? That they are come to pacify the teacher or so. I said, look, this matter is not pacification. You deal with them.
How would you have dealt with it?
If I'm going to be sacked from studying.
Then beating is completely different. You should go to jail or something.
I'm going to jail. No. They should be removed
from the system
and put before the law. No. What's wrong with you?
You think we've become too soft?
The society is gone. And you can't compare my time with your time. No, it's gone. It's completely different. If you meet people like Odate Wellington, whom I met at Sandhurst.
It's former army commander, right?
Former army commander.
79.
Come on. Or Akufo. Or Akosiyama Nkwa. I mean, these were people from different world. No, your world is different from our world. I'm telling you. There are things that you'll be executed for in those days. Today they will find you like a chief.
What's gone wrong?
What has gone wrong? I think my generation is partly to blame. My generation. Those over, we are close to 90. I'm close to, by the end of the year, I'll be 90. I think that the life we went through was so rough that we didn't want people like you, to go through that life. So you stopped to make things too soft for you. I think it was wrong.
You should have kept some small hardness.
Yes.
Deliberate hardness.
A bit of, you need to walk from Winneba to Senebreak and back. Walk. So this leg, that walked so many miles. So, hey, I was saying at Nyao Clinic, a cousin of mine, Otto Bush, and he used to work at Elang near Brig in Accra. He used to walk in the morning, 4 o'clock, and back. To pay 3 pesos for trotro, we put in our pocket to buy food and walk.
So you took decisions based on the circumstances.
Yes. The world has changed. Look at the world today, and I used to, it's not the same world. To we thought I say, look, is it worth living in this world? The world, I feel sorry for, not for myself, those my grandchildren, your children. I feel sorry for them. I don't know how the world would turn up when they are like you and me. Or the world would be there at all. When Mr. Trump and others are No, what's wrong with you?
You don't understand it, eh?
No, I can't say how the world can cope. Sometimes I refuse to watch TV. Honest, but I get upset.
What upsets you most?
there's madness everywhere. There's real madness. And there's nobody sane enough to sort the world
there's
out.
nobody in charge of the asylum, right? The inmates are running around and there's nobody in charge of the asylum.
Nobody. So the world is, I'm not honest with you. No, the world is and it's terrible. When I look at the Soviet Union, I was in Russia.
Yes, you did some training with the KGB?
With the KGB.
For about 6 months?
That's right.
What was that like?
Well, those were the days of
Khrushchev,
and,
yeah.
Brezhnev and Kosygin, all those. I mean, those Putin might have been just born on, not maybe a little boy, but those hard ones. But he's hard enough. He's a very hard man. I think it's about time the world softened a bit. But today, before I came here, I was on TV. I mean, there were rockets fired at Kiev and others, and lives lost. Lives are being lost. It's cold enough when your power being blown off. But if the power is blown off, and I know that when I was in Moscow, it was minus 25 degrees, 30 degrees, minus.
How did that feel like?
How did?
How does that feel for somebody who has never been to Moscow in minus 25, minus 30?
Luckily.
How cold was that?
When I say cold, I mean people were driving cars on the lake. Cars were frozen enough like this floor.
Okay. So you can drive on the lake?
Yes. Even in Canada. I was in Canada too. I mean, I've gone through all this hard, tough thing. So, to my mind, I mean, I love it because it has made me very hard.
Yeah. And the military is a big part of it.
Yes.
So you are part of Intake 2.
Intake 2.
What does that mean? You're the second people to join?
The second people to go to the academy.
The second group to join the academy?
Yes. Before 1960, Ghana and the West Africa, colonies under Britain, I mean Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia, were training young officers at Teshi, Obasanjo and others, Gawan had their basic training there. But in 1960, Nkrumah decided that he wanted to create his own military academy to train our own officers.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers that were coming were too small for him to build an army with. You need to blow it up. Some went to Russia, did some course, Sandhurst and so on. But it wasn't enough. So he had to create an academy. Intake 1 was 1960, March, April.
Mm-hmm.
April. My intake was Intake 2.
Same year?
The same year.
But later on?
That's later on, in October.
Okay.
And
talk to me about your Sergeant Major. The Scottish man.
Village was something else. I mean, the army is a lovely thing. I mean, I believe that if you had money, every young man here, every young girl should have a bit of army training.
President Mahama wants young people after university to do some military training. You agree?
Well, if the country can pay for it, I don't think they can. It's expensive. It's not just going to the motion. But spend 6 months, 1 year at a military base and train like a soldier. It's not cheap. You got to equip them, you got to house them, you got to, all kind of things with them, and you couldn't do it.
Captain Amwabing has a leadership training program where part of it involves some military training.
I wish we could do it. I wish. Because the army really cleans you. You wouldn't have to, if you were coming to me today, and I called you, and you were on the way. So you'll be there in 1 minute's time. You get to all the place, I give you a salute.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way it should be, so that you can see the mind of your colleague. Because the mind is the same mind, as if we are one person. As if we are one person. So it's difficult to run Ghana. With the president, there's complete chaos and confusion. So much indiscipline.
You think if we had more military mindsets, things would be better to run?
You were asking about MMLH.
Yes.
MMLH was a Scots guard. These are some of the hard Grenadier guards, Scots guards. All these are the tough guard regiment in Britain.
So he trained you?
Yes. He's a small man. But when he banged his feet on the floor, you can hear it from the motorway there. And when we played the full training at March, and we had misbehaved, so it was reported to him. We had our KNK and whatever at 2 o'clock. We formed up under his orders in full battle order.
What does that mean?
You dress like you're going to war.
What-
Steel helmet, rifle, loaded like a balloon.
And then you were supposed to march.
He drilled us until people fell off the road.
Where was he?
He was dressed, I don't know what he dressed, whether he dressed for a potato or something. He was sweating like a pig in an oven with a green pullover. In this heat,
He joined you guys.
he was doubling us on the road to
So from the inside of the military academy to Teshi.
the main road
Main
and
road.
turn left to Teshi. As you fell off, he will take you, roll you into the bush.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, because cars are coming to come.
How long did that march take, man?
It was like hell. It was like hell. And when we survived, I was tough. I was a fisherman's son. I was tough. I survived. When we came back, eventually, he said, those of us who survived, you are men. Not women, you are men. That's what made the military unique. We were toughened up. It's not a joke. Look what's going on in Kiev. The bombing last night. The weather. No power, no light, nothing. It's a rough thing. So unless you are toughened up, you couldn't cope with it. So today our people, we are too soft. We go and get a degree and come back. I said I'm waiting for what? For a job. The job is not going to come. That's where my empathy goes with these young people. I don't know how it's going to end up with them.
You're not very optimistic for the future. You're not very optimistic for the future.
No, the future is very bleak. You see, I don't need to be told this is good. I want to see it happen. You can see it happen. You can believe it. This government has been in power for how long now? For a year. Just a year. It's doing the best. But the problem is so big. It's being added onto. It's not just stopping there. Whatever you are doing, it's not enough. It's like being flooded out. As we clean the water, more water is coming in. So population of Ghana is now what? Maybe 31, 30, I don't know.
In the mid-30s millions.
30-something million. My time, I had 4 or 5 million, my time. When I was like, some 60, 70 years ago. So we have a long way to go. But the effort we are putting in is not enough to deal with the problem. This one in my life, I spent some time with education. Because of hard time I had, it's a very soft part of my heart is to help those who are facing problem with their education. I'm hoping I can set up what do you call it? To support poor. I was a poor
because you had you tasted it, so you know how it feels.
That's right. Foundation of some sort. That after I'm gone, at least money will be mobilized. Use that foundation, help those who need help. But many of us need help. I need that help. But if I hadn't had those who came to my aid,
you'd have been in trouble.
I wouldn't have been where I am today.
Yeah. And then you ended up in Sandhurst, which is a really prestigious.
I never dreamt I would end up in Accra, let alone Sandhurst.
Yeah.
In
the UK.
And it was the beauty of the military is that you are treated fairly. There's no connection. There's no you don't have to know anybody. You didn't have to. And Sandhurst is a huge university, like Mama Camp, it's a big place where everybody from the world, anywhere around the world, comes there. Kings and Hussein and Gaddafi and all those people ended up there.
You went with Feli, Cadet Feli?
Feli, Joe Feli, Kwame Mefetu, and Kwame Akwenzibi are probably the poorest among them in terms of resources. Didn't go to any good school. But I was working pretty hard and chosen by the staff who were almost all British, the instructors, to go to science. You look at the group, that's maybe around 60 or something. That group that came to intake 2 picked some to go to science and train to become officers. And that selection wasn't based on anything but quality. When you go in there and you are put together, you're not a Ghanaian, you are not a Nigerian, you are a Sanghes, treated like this, like whether you were British.
How did you deal with the weather?
The weather. The weather in Britain, it didn't bother me too much. I had a few problems with the weather, but not. But you see that right now the weather in Ghana bothers me more than the weather in Britain. No, the weather, heat, you can't do anything about it.
Where's the
cold? You can wrap yourself up.
But the heat.
The heat, you can't. What can you do?
We're recording this on the 13th of January. Where's the Hamatan?
Hamatan, maybe it will go and turn around and come. No, the weather, everything's changing.
Yeah.
The weather, something funny happening to the world. I'm telling you, the world appears to be unhinged. As if the axis of the world, they have been turned around and want to be walking on our heads. Well, the world is in a mess. It's in a complete mess.
Are there solutions?
The men and women we need, the people that we need with quality heads, are not there. No, because the problem is big. When in 1962, I was in Britain at that time, my second year in Britain, and Kennedy and Khrushchev nearly went to war.
Yeah, the Cuban Missile Crisis. It happened while you were in England.
While I was in England.
So the Russians, there were reports of their ships coming
missiles
to Cuba, which is America's backyard.
To threaten America, only 90 miles from Florida. So Kennedy said no. And Khrushchev said niet.
Which also means no in Russian.
We'll do it. But see, these were tough people. Kennedy was a tough person. And the following year, when he was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald in Dallas, Khrushchev shed some tears on television. I saw it. Even though he was his bitterest enemy, he shed tears.
Do you see some parallels with what is happening now? I mean, now, just recently, America went into Venezuela and took out their president.
No, that's really, I couldn't stomach it, to be honest with you. I couldn't stomach it. I mean, treat the man like, until you, even when you find him guilty, you don't treat him like that. Honestly, don't treat him like that. Even when you find him guilty. The man is not guilty of anything. He was asleep with his wife. Take him out, chain him. I mean, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I don't like it.
No.
Treat human beings like human beings. I didn't like the way they were treated.
But who can stop America, though?
Who can stop America? Today, everybody goes to, if you don't go to White House and kneel down, you put this on you and you can't pay you can't sell your goods. No, to be honest with you, I would prefer to eat Gary every day than to bow down on my knees. To be honest with you, I want to behave like a human being, go down on my knees, eat Gary, than to eat cheese and smoked salmon and whatnot and eat that as Mr. Nobody. No, I don't think. The world has become very nasty. It's become very nasty. No respect for mankind, for each other. And the way we are going, I don't know whether we will last long, but I think we are going to crash.
You think so, eh?
Well, I mean, if what's happening with Ukraine, and our friend is going to go to what take that this land, what's it called?
Greenland.
Greenland.
Yeah, he says he may buy it, or there may be military
and I'm
action.
taking it whether I like it or not. I'm going to take it. I don't think the world should be treated like that. There's no international law. There's nothing. I mean, there's.
But isn't this behavior just similar to what happened 300-400 years ago when people just left their countries and came and said, okay, we have discovered you. We have taken over. Even Denmark was buying and selling islands back in the day.
You're right, but I thought
so it's like
we are growing.
Advancing.
We are advancing.
It's like we're regressing, right?
Exactly. That thing that I did when I was a child, I would do it today. I'm sorry. We went out naked. I mean, the children playing. But my children don't go out naked today.
Exactly.
So we should grow out of these barbaric, things that we do to ourselves. It dehumanizes us as human, as people. I don't want to watch TV. It upsets me. I see this man being taken, in handcuffs. I mean, come on. When the late President Rawlings overthrew Le Mans, they gave him a lot of respect. They didn't treat him like
Yeah.
At least they treat him with a lot of respect. I don't like the way you deal with our human beings, as if they are not human. Even animals treated better than human beings. And that upsets me. So what am I living for? If we don't have any dignity as human beings, then what are we here for?
So eat that Gary in dignity instead of...
I would rather eat Gary. Gary with Kobe and so on. And
so you are done with your military training. You in between that time you went to travel to Germany, you went to Scotland, you stayed with the family. What did you learn from your training at Sandhurst? One of the big lessons that have stayed with you till now.
First of all, I made a lot of friends. One thing that there was a lady at Sandhurst, Miss
Margaret Jones.
Margaret Jones. Your brain is working. When you are young, your brain works better than when you are.
I read your book not too long ago.
Yeah, but the moment I read, I forget it. Margaret Jones was. I went to Britain in 20 years after. Sorry, no, not 19. 50 years after commissioning. There's a big meeting in Sandhurst. And then I said, I stayed in Camberley. The biggest town was Camberley to Sandhurst. And let me walk to the college, not far, but a mile away, on foot. So I walked, it changed a little bit anyway. So I go to the old college, which will be the head office of the academy. Now they built a new one. And I met an old lady there. As soon as I met her, I was passing here. Said, Mr. Nunoo Mensah, welcome back. I opened my mouth like a fish. And I said, who is this old lady? I said, ma'am, I've not been here for the past 50 years. Who are you? Margaret Jones, of course. And I should remember Margaret Jones.
She was the one who used to assign you to families to go and stay.
Margaret Jones was, her role, wasn't sure, she knew everybody. She was employed, I don't know what she was doing, but helping us to find our way. When you in Africa, holidays came, where do you go? Arranging all this for us. So it became quite close to all of us. Then foolishly I asked Margaret Jones, how old are you now? Don't ask me that stupid question.
So she was probably close to 100 then?
She was quite old.
Because 50 years after you graduated.
I mean, it was a place that I made many, many friends. I still talk to them. I still write to them. And it was, and make friends across in India, make friends in all kinds of places. In the Arab world, both together, But that society now, the world has become very, very angry with itself. I don't know why. No love lost between countries. Today, you look at what's on television, and we see what's happening on television. I mean, the other day, there was this, and our friend said, Nigeria, the Muslims are killing the Christians. I don't know who told him this. I mean,
bomb them on Christmas Day.
No, I think we should show more love. The world is better because there's not enough love among us. No more love. Not enough.
Yeah. So we need more.
We need more. We need more humanity. We need more.
Were you happy to return when you came back? When you finished Sandhurst, were you happy to come back to Ghana?
The final prayer was, I think, on the 7th. A day or two, I came back.
Straight up. So you were there for 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
But 2 years exactly. But about when I finished, to the Ghanaians, they don't want to come back. Ghana was lovely. We love Ghana. All the clothes I bought to wear in Sandhurst, I bought them at Kingsway. I went to shop. It was cheaper to buy them here than in Britain. So I went to Kingsway, UTC, bought all my clothes. Some are still hanging in my wardrobe now. They're over 60 years. Some of the clothes, they are still hanging there, older than you.
Yes.
They are hanging there. The quality was
So Ghana was working?
Yes. But today we don't love our country as much as people made mistakes. but not because they hated Ghana, because they were human, so they made mistakes. But today, we do things against Ghana that we should never do as Ghanaians.
Yeah.
You don't worry enough.
So we need to worry some more.
You don't worry more, and then make Ghana better. If today, Ghanaians, I have a friend, he's dead now. His daughter is in America. And we can imagine, he didn't go in there and have proper sale. So you can imagine, so I'm even afraid to talk to her, or call her. She'll be scared. You know, but if you build Ghana a better place, and I can come back to Ghana up to 2 days after qualifying, why would any Ghanaian want to hang around anyway?
Yeah.
You come back home.
So
a better place.
When you were in the UK, you were able to take the train service? Did you use the trains in Germany, in UK?
I went to Germany a couple of times. First, I traveled. There was Dr. something in London, a friend of mine who was also my teacher, made me stay with him. And I took a train to Germany. First of all, I went to the border to Belgium, Ostend or something. Took a train across to Europe, mainland Europe. Then took a train all the way to Heidelberg.
What was the experience like on the train? What was the experience like taking the train in those countries?
No, I mean, I've been in Britain for them, so I mean, really, just buy the ticket. It was about £9 in and out. I paid £9 from Waterloo Station to Germany and back. The whole journey cost me £9.
I'm asking you this because I want you to compare it to your one and only train trip in Ghana.
Which, I swore I never do it again. No, you see, what I've noticed is that people don't do things from their heart. That's what I've noticed. When I'm doing something, I'm doing because as if my life is at stake. So
you were being posted to, you had to go to Kumasi to go and
No, I had to go and see the late General
Aferi.
Aferi was the commander of 2nd Infantry Brigade.
Okay.
I'd been posted to 3rd Battalion in Takrady.
Which fell under him?
Which was work under him.
Okay.
So I had to go to see my boss before reporting to.
So that's the procedure in the army. If you are posted somewhere, you have to go and.
Well, you have to attend an interview of the commander.
Okay.
And they will advise you, like that.
Okay.
But it was, you wouldn't know General Ferry.
No.
See, the quality of officers we had, you can compare them with anybody anyway. They were different, but different with a quality, their own quality.
So you jumped on the train. Why didn't you go by road?
Well, I'd come. I mean, I didn't have a means of. I didn't have any car anyway. I've just come back. So and why not go by train? Because the train journey in Europe was in Britain. Everybody went everywhere by train. So if I'm going to Kumasi, I just went to the train station, bought my ticket. But the train was going to go for it and then come reverse.
The train was reversing.
I was so fed, so tired.
And then you have lots of stops?
Lot of stuff like goats and plantains and come on board. But you but you see, you are in Ghana.
Goats, you have goats coming on board.
But you see, it was as I was a young man, full of discovery, trying to learn. And everywhere I went, I tried to learn. First I went up north. I was traveling to, I think, Nablongo or somewhere. I saw people going almost naked with piece of leaves around them. It was a shock to me. But it tells me how far we have come from. And Nkrumah came back. Ghana became independent. Nkrumah had to decree. He went to university in the north. They didn't pay any fees. I mean, he went free.
Yeah, secondary education, yeah.
Yeah, secondary education, he went free. So these are things that were positive. And I thought we should. But unfortunately, over the years, we lost all these fine things in us. In the army, for example, there were people from all over the country. I mean, from Water region, from the north, from Jofeli. We were like brothers. It was beautiful. Tribalism died. It died. There were no tribes. Down to its politics, which is killing us. NDC, NPP, NDC, NPP. It didn't make any sense. Ghana must come first.
Indeed. I'm just wondering, in your career, you ended up in military intelligence. Is this something you chose, or somebody decided?
I didn't choose. I was chosen. I mean, when I came back from Britain, like I went to see General Ferry, I was posted to the first battalion in Takrady. This was, when was this? About August, sometime in August. Just in October, I was recalled to Accra to come for an interview with one Colonel Hassan. You would not know him. But I became Brigadier Hassan. He was a cousin of Nkrumah, but spent most of his time in Sudan. So he was more Sudanese than Ghanaian. And somehow there was a Major Aqua who came with the judges. I don't know whether you remember that.
Yes, 1982.
He and I were relations. His father and my father were related. So we lived together in the same house in Winneba. And he was the soul of the intelligence unit. I think maybe arranged with Colonel Hassan that he should call me to join the intelligence unit. We are now creating a new intelligence unit. Some young, sharp young men to join the unit. So I was recalled to Accra. Then a team was leaving in October, very shortly. Mr. Gbeho was among them. Victor Gbeho, you know him?
Yes.
Victor, yeah. This is why I got to know him. And a few other research officers from research.
Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, many of them. A few of them are alive today. Many of them are gone. So we went to Moscow for 6 months. That's how I got to know people like Mr. Gbeho and others. Mr. Brig, a young man, he's now in his early 80s. He was among them when they were actually taking, when the coup came, ended up in Conakry. But he told me a story which was very interesting. I talked to him still. He's a young man. Eddie Blaze's younger brother, the boxer. He was with us in Moscow. But then when the coup took place, they were on this journey to North Korea.
Yes.
Ended up in Guinea finally. He was telling me a story where something happened one day. Nkrumah's life was, obviously it was ailing. And one day they went to him to ask for something. Nkrumah said, "Why are you here?" He said, "Oh, Papa, we want you to, please beg you to allow Madame and the children to come and see you." Please with Nkrumah let his wife and children come and see him. He never saw them. So he found out between the Nkrumah and Sekou, for example, there's no relationship. Because he never knew him as a father.
Mm-hmm.
And Nkrumah then asked them, "Okay, but why are you in Guinea?" He asked these young people. And they said, "Oh, we are here because of you." And he said, "Are you then asking me to bring my wife and children? What about your wife and children? They should also be here. If they're not coming, the madame and the children would also not be here." That's how I would behave.
Mm-hmm.
That's how a leader would behave. They were there suffering because of him. So how could he allow his wife and children to come and see him
for enjoyment
when the others wouldn't have the same privilege?
Yeah.
This is the kind of leadership that we are lacking today. The true leaders True leaders, they are born.
And it's leadership by example.
Yes.
Yeah. When you left, before you left Russia with the KGB stint, they had a very interesting way of assessing you.
Yes, that's
which I think it's.
I think it's a very good, something that we should, if our system of education should copy.
Yeah.
After 6 months course, we went to examination, and they gave us about 25 questions. They gave us the questions to cover the whole syllabus. But at the day of the examination, you sit before the examiner. The questions are there, all printed. The one that gave you a copy. So you print any one of them without you knowing which one you printed. When you pick it, then you
open it, reveal it, and then talk to it.
And then give it a few minutes to collect your thoughts. Then shoot.
So they give you all the areas for you to cover, 25 questions.
Yes.
And then on the day of the examination, you pick 5 random questions out of the 25.
From 25. That's what you have said.
Because you've seen everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
You've said the syllabus. You don't know which one I'm going to ask you. So that you have covered the syllabus fully. To me, it's a better way of educating,
exactly.
testing you.
And it will cut down cheating.
So then you write, and then it can cross-examine you.
Exactly. Based on your oral presentation.
Oral presentation.
That was a good ration system. Was not bad at all.
Was very good. So you cover the syllabus fully, without knowing which one you are going to be asked to speak on. Something which I believe that when we are reforming the examination system, I think we should, but maybe this one was a limited course, maybe with a large course.
I think it can still work though, because it will cut down on cheating.
Yes.
You know all the questions that are going to come, and then you pick the ones that you pick, and then you have to go and talk about them.
Yeah, but you cover the syllabus,
yes.
But you wouldn't know which one you're going
exactly to. Exactly so. But everybody's forced to cover the entire syllabus.
Exactly.
And then you pick the ones that...
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then there are things we learn. I mean, when I was in Britain with my son, who is now a medical officer, I would say it's not extraordinary. But our system of education was very good. I went to school there in Britain, never been to Britain before. But as good as, in fact, among the first 3 or 4, it will always be there. And I did the common exam. I failed miserably. And I didn't even, there was no reason why I should pass. I didn't see a pass question before.
And these days they print them out and sell them to the students, you know?
I never saw one. They have to go and see the paper. I haven't even seen how could I pass? How could I pass? Whereas if I compare that to my son's case, when Oxford University, but loads of past questions, plenty of them.
Just read them.
He went through all of them.
Yeah.
So how would you not pass? So we don't prepare our children properly. If we're a poor child, from a poor background, how do you go through this? If you go to Atta Mils or Prempeh College, whatever, how do you go through all this?
Do you think it was actually easier in your time for poor children to get out of poverty as opposed to now? For education.
Yeah.
In terms of education, if you didn't have the means back then, you had a fairer chance of succeeding then than now?
My time in Ghana.
Yes.
From my experience, I think it depended so much on the child. You see, in my situation, first of all, we didn't have any entertainment. Reading was my entertainment. Well, see me shouting on Latin, shouting on Macbeth, or To Kill a Mockingbird, shouting to the ocean with a cool, it was beautiful. If a child wanted to learn, it was beautiful to learn. Not today. First of all, today we are too many. And we don't have quality. Well, we have quality teachers, but the teachers themselves have too many problems to deal with the problem of teaching the children. Today to run any institution, it's not easy. It's not easy. When I look at the world, I just look at, switch on the television, see, a panorama of events going around the world.
Yeah.
How are the world going to cope with all these problems? We don't have the people with the requisite brain or commitment. And the United Nations was set up to resolve things at the United General Assembly. They go, they start insulting each other, nothing is done. I mean, I don't know what, it goes the way of the League of Nations. They were supposed to come together
to solve problems.
But then they come and fight there, insult each other, and the problem is unsolved. So what is their use?
It's a big question here. I'm having a chat with Brigadier General Joseph Nunoo Mensah, former CDS twice over, and an author also. His new book to be coming out pretty soon. General, you lived during the PDA time, the Preventive Detention Act time in the 60s before President Nkrumah was overthrown. Yeah. There was one time that you actually went and arrested a spiritualist.
I did a lot of horrible things, which but for my military background or military commitment to the military, I wouldn't have done it. Today, if I would do the same things, I wouldn't do them. But I believe that wrong is wrong. Today, if I'm mighty, I mean, America can do anything. Can go and pick up this Maduro in the night and bring him around, and nobody open their mouth. You go and do it as a poor person. See what will happen to you. There are things that we should have had courage to, around the world, tell our leaders. It's still happening in Ghana here.
Who was that spiritualist? What was his offense?
Now, this spiritualist, there's a rumor that was going to kill Nkrumah. somebody came to report to my boss. This sharp was going to kill him. My boss was quite temperamental, somebody that would not stand in nonsense. Dispatch has to go and grab this man and come and teach him where power lies.
So you went to Abeka?
You went to Abeka one night, led by informant, to this small place. Pick this poor man. Collect all the juju, everything.
You had amulets and things like that?
Everything. The whole
Kabudo.
to Burma camp. And this my boss was very rough. But he never physically touch anybody. He came to the office in the night. Came with a big cutlass. Took all this effigies and so on and cut them like the massacre in Rwanda.
He cut the juju.
Just chopped everything up.
That was it.
He said, "Juju should go and kill me." Poor Juju, let Juju kill me.
So was it really a credible threat, or you just didn't know, or you're just teaching the man a lesson that your power has nothing?
Well, the man was actually crying, weeping. It's all this is that now I realize that this Juju thing, I've never believed in them. I have never personally believed in them. Never. He had recorded these voices, and it's all a trick. If you were not into that game, you will never understand it. They will talk to you. When they brought them, he operated them. He would say something. Then there was a small recorder that will respond to it. I think he's talking to some juju really.
He's a trickster.
It's a trickster. But this man just dealt with it. But the other thing that I may have also mentioned to you was the PDA itself.
Preventive Detention Act.
As a young officer, I did things that today, if I had to go and do them, I would not do them. I believe that they were wrong. But at that level, at that time, you don't have what it takes to challenge authority. Today, I remember very well that at one point in time, when Champo, I'm sure you read that, asked us to go to Uganda, and I refused. And I said, look, I didn't enlist into the foreign service. I said I came to serve in the Ghana Army. So I told my boss then, General Akufo, he wasn't in the country when I got angry and said we should go and post him to Uganda. I said I will not go anywhere. So when he came, I went to him and said, look, sir, this is what's happened in your absence, and I'm not going anywhere. So you've got to support me. Sir, if you don't support me, I will resign. And this is what I said. I will resign, and I would have resigned. If I resign, you know what would have happened? This was 77. June 4th would have taken place at all costs, and I would have been replaced. Rawlings knows they would have come, or even if I was dying, you come and dig my grave and bring me to command. You will do that. So for us to speak with courage to our bosses, if you felt that something we're doing was not right. But most of us today, it's happening everywhere.
You were able to write a report which was unfavorable to Lieutenant Colonel Kotoka, who was one of the architects of the 66 coup. So this is in 1965.
Yes.
What happened? What are the circumstances of that report? And you actually presented the report to him as well.
Yes. So the point I'm making again is that it's a very difficult job to be in intelligence, to be anywhere in the White House right now. Not everything that your boss is doing would you endorse, but you have to have the courage of your conviction to speak. This letter, this was 1965. Kotoka was, you wouldn't know, E.K. Kotoka. He was commander of the 2nd Brigade, and then Akufo was the brigade major. They worked together at the head office. This is how the coup of 1966, emanated. And these reports come from the intelligence, regular reports about the morale situation in the armed forces, where you're supposed to, if Kafui is the head of this institution, and the report comes that he did something which is negative to the institution, you report on it. But then in this very case, it was such a thing that I thought he should know about it. So I took the copy and sent to him.
With the adverse findings against him?
That's right. which was everybody would say it was today you will hide it.
You delivered it face to face. How did you deliver the letter?
No. I mean,
report
it was sent officially.
Officially,
To
okay.
the commander of the battalion. And normally it goes to the chief of defense staff. It's for his attention. But if I'm negative about somebody, I want him to know what is being done, about him, so that if there's any answer to give, he will
has
do
a
that.
chance, yeah.
I think it was only fair. I think it was my nature not to victimize anybody. If even it's important, call a person and talk to him. Let him defend himself. This letter went. Quite, he had nothing about it.
Considering that Lieutenant Colonel Kotoka was part of the 1966 coup, and this letter you wrote, this report you wrote was in 65.
He was the organizer of the coup.
Yes, 65 letter you wrote. Looking back now, do you think if they had taken the contents of the letter seriously, that coup could have been avoided?
That letter may have aided the coup. You see, because when I mean, of course I was too small to talk to him, but if I am told that I am doing something negative, this will affect my career in the long term. If I'm going to do something bad, I better quicken it.
What was your rank when you were writing this
I was
report?
a captain.
And
he was a colonel.
He was a colonel.
Was a lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant colonel.
Then I become colonel.
So this is like how many ranks ahead? After captain, you go to major, right?
Yes, but
After major.
not too much. But the position was powerful. I mean,
Yeah,
because the brigade commander, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Even one rank, there were majors that we were afraid of. There were people who were majors, and we were afraid of them. So the rank, the weight of the rank
was heavy.
So
a day after the coup, he calls you.
Yes.
The person who you had written the report against.
Yes. Calls me. You see, but this is what I call courage. It's not easy to tell the truth. After I've written a report, hid it, and then something terrible happened to him. But a copy went to you, which should normally not go to him, to let him know. So when he called me, he said, "This report you wrote, why did you write it?" And send me a copy. First of all, what shocked me was this coup was not an easy coup. To move in Nkrumah wasn't an easy, ordinary coup. And there was a lot to be done. So for this man to have time to talk to me that early on.
A day after the coup.
A day after the coup. That was my first shock. If I make sure that the beast, whatever, it has been properly taken care of. But the thing worried him so much so that he called me. And I'm glad that I told him the truth. I said, "Sir, you know what? I wanted you to know this report because it was about you, and I felt you should know about it. That's why I sent you a copy."
What was his reaction?
"Thank you. You can go." That's all. I mean, got the courage. It was the only truth.
What was his position? I mean, organizer of the coup, but on that day...
He has then taken power. He was
in charge.
He's in charge now. He could start to execute me. Oh, yes.
Inside, were you...
No, I wasn't scared.
You weren't?
No. It's a bit of a shock. Shock in the sense that how early it was that he called me. I thought this was other critical things to deal with. Mine was a small one. But to call me means that it bothered him a lot. And I'm happy that I was frank, he was frank, I was frank, the matter was finished.
There was another issue that you got yourself involved with. I mean, you refused a military assistant post to Prime Minister Buzia.
Yeah.
What was the role of the military assistant, and why did you refuse the post?
Why did I refuse? See, again, I keep on coming back to courage of your conscience. This is one thing I found that as time went on, I began to understand who am I. I said, I don't follow the crowd. Who the hell are you that the Prime Minister at that time want to do something? You said, and it's not in anger. Like we were at in Nkrumah complaining about the state of the school. It wasn't in anger. It was for the betterment of everything. So if you did something which is not evil, but the truth, you don't have to worry about it.
What was this role of this military assistant? What were you supposed to be doing?
It's like you will be close to the Prime Minister, advise him on many things about the military. I just come back from Canada, learned quite a lot militarily, This job is doing political things.
You're not interested.
I'm not interested. It's too early for me.
Did you tell him personally?
No, I mean, I didn't see him. When I went to see him, I met my media boss, General Hamidu. Did you ever know him?
Yes.
And he was intelligent. I told him, I mean, I don't hide. The trouble with me is that I don't hide anything. Maybe I'm too frank to tell my mind. And I told him this was why. He said, "No, you go. I'll talk to him." So he told the prime minister. I never saw him. But I think that is what is killing this country, and killing not only Ghana but the world. Are you sure all those who line up again around the president, the American president, all that he's saying, they support it? And you can see that some of them are not clear in their mind, but they can't say it.
Well, in America, they wait to be fired. When they are fired, then they write a book.
Look at the former this who school advisor, what is his name? Who was fighting. His first time he came, the school advisor, what is his name? They were charging him with something.
Yes, you were going to write a book, that's all.
Yeah. You know, be bold, and this is what something which, I believe, I mean, it's my nature. I got away with late President Mills, because I'm very frank, very open, and he is like that. I don't hide anything. There's something that I believe that, I believe in it. I'll go to him and advise him. Mr. President, I am the man. Why do I have a long argument with him? It's not that anything was not. He wanted to do something. And I didn't want to do it. I was traveling to India. There was a 10th anniversary, no, 50th anniversary of our course. He invited me. I said, but you can easily go as advisor on the state, account. But I'm not going for it. I'm going personal. So why do I take the state thing? I'm not take a third, what do you call it? On a ticket.
Economy
ticket. But then I saw it, I said, General, it's economy. I said, President, pay me. What economy? No. No, obviously, you go economy. But what is when I go there, I will hear things. And I'm sitting down there like an old man there. I'm hearing what they're saying. But if I go, nobody's sitting next to me.
Your intelligence thing was still working.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it doesn't, even before the encounter with President Mills, you had an encounter with an army commander. You refused General Akufo. Akufo. So right. you were in charge of distributing some logistics?
At some point imported vehicles. This VW, K70 and all that. They were quite cheap. 5,000 CDs, old CDs. Pay about 50 pesos or something. And I was supposed to distribute them as chief of staff. And the thing about these people is that they are honest people. There's something about the military or Ghanaians or human beings. They were more honest then than now. This is the point. They were good people and were bold enough to speak their mind.
So what was General Akufo's issue?
Issue was that you had to distribute these cars. Army commander. First of all, to individuals. They pay for them, but very cheap, without taxes, to help officers own cars. And Akufo's army commander had to be given about 4 or 5 vehicles for administrative duties, the army to manage with them. But he thought that the number given to him was too small. And he was upset, and then dropped the phone.
What was your rank then?
I was chief of staff. I was Brigadier General.
Okay.
He was Major.
He was a Major General.
But there are people that, and he knew my quality. He knew that I spent. You don't go to Sandhurst and fool around, and I judge the best among the whole college there. You are stupid, we never fisherman's son. You go there and you are judged to be the best. So he knew my quality, and I knew his quality. There was a mutual respect between us. So I was angry. It hurt me a lot that he was angry with me. But then, God being so great, things changed, and he became the chief of defense staff, and I became his immediate assistant as chief of staff. And I've never worked with anybody in my life and enjoyed working than with General Akufo. Because he was like me. I mean, I saw myself in him. We were sharp, you know. I mean, when the time came for a champion to go, I mean, you know, it was something which people don't understand it. But when they read the book, I'm sure the book will explain quite a bit of things to them. It isn't that we hated anybody. There was no hatred in us. Everything we did, not with, with hatred, no. With honesty and sincerity.
So around about 1978, there was a lot of there was concern that the country was not moving in the right direction.
I mean, there was a lot of, I mean, we because of our background, people like myself and Hamidu, Hamidu, we could sense something. You've been intelligent all our lives, so you can sense the mood wasn't right. So we said, look, let's advise there was this council, Military Advisory Council, the Council of State, advising the government, military government, advise the president. It's about time we thought about quitting politics.
So the military should get out of politics.
Out of politics. You know, and this also, I mean, somebody, I think the report went to him of this meeting, and he was a bit upset. So he said, look, he was angry. He was talking about the chairman of the Champ was angry. But I thought that he should have called me and asked me, why do you say this, and hear more about what I was saying. He didn't. Then I also, said I will not do that job. So this man should support me, whatever. And eventually, when we decided that, in fact, what happened was that he himself wrote a letter.
General Champo, the head of state, wrote a letter
to Akufo, endorsing our position that things were not going well within the military.
Mm-hmm.
So we met as a group, the commanders, 3DS commanders, myself, chief of staff, and the secretary to the meeting, to take a decision on what to do. And in conclusion, we came to the point that we had to go. But we cannot go. We had to go, but this man who didn't want to go, the chairman didn't want to go.
Champo.
So we had to go with him, get him out and follow him, and all of us sack ourselves and get out. You get my point?
Mm-hmm.
The idea wasn't we just felt that we had overstayed.
You're welcome.
Our welcome, so we should go. But because June 4th was the result of our not going early enough, as if we were right. So after he's gone, and I didn't go, then we got him out.
You wrote the letter. You wrote the letter that he signed.
The secrets of that thing, that is a masterpiece. When the Americans went to this Venezuela and then removed Maduro and so on, this was a typical thing. They used force. I didn't use strength. I used
strength of the mind.
That's right. And I did lay in my bed. Say, get it now. How do you do it? Give me the parameters that should guide me to get a vote in there. And I planned it with secrecy being the top requirement. Secrecy, and then also using of force. Use the brain to do it rather than force.
Mm.
But secrecy was important. It was a plan on the basis that people will go in there and get him out without him knowing, or they themselves knowing why they are going in there. So
the information was delivered on the need-to-know basis. Not everybody knew what was going on.
They knew, but it was a very you have to be trained in the Soviet Union, KGB and so on, to be able to plan something like this.
Was he shocked? I mean, what was his reaction when he heard from his service commanders that, listen,
we met in his office. Eventually.
His own office?
His own office. Because he had agreed to meet us to discuss his complaint about the indiscipline in the armed forces. Mm-hmm. But everybody who went there, including Kafui was there, would think that they were going to discuss discipline. But they were discussing a different issue altogether. Took everybody by surprise. It's one of the principles of war, is surprise.
So he signed the letter?
No. He has to sign, because when the big hall and the whole of the military hierarchy gets up, or your cabinet get up, that we have sacked you, sign here. What will you say?
Nothing.
And nobody who said we have agreed to sack you kept quiet.
If he had decided not, have you thought about if he had refused to sign? what would have been the consequence?
Meanwhile, we had replaced, you see, it was a very detailed command. We replaced all his
bodyguards.
close guards. We have removed them.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know. And reinforced them with heavily armed soldiers, heavily armed. But in the room there, whatever is happening, I said, I don't know what's happening. But we heard that everybody has been removed, and then heavily armed soldiers were in charge at the door here, and he didn't know. So if he had refused, and surprise is the biggest principle of war. Nobody coming here with a machine gun, I mean, we don't know what to do. So when people were told, or the commander then, the CDS, Akufo said to him, we have decided that you hand over power to the Chief of Defense Staff. Everybody who was sitting down there, apart from one or two people, Mr. Akufo was the IGP and so on, we were all shocked. It was a big shock because they never heard this was going to be the discussion. And if you were there, you wouldn't get up and say, I don't agree.
No.
It was too serious. It was a matter of courage. So it came quick and fast. And within, I said, he just asked, what do I do? And go with the next one. You have to sign here. He just took a pen. He didn't even read. Just sign it. Another power. That's all.
And then he was flown out to Akosombo.
Quickly took him, not like Baduro, the way took him in handcuff. No. Handle it with respect. That was the point I'm making. Achieve what you want to achieve, but do it with respect. So it was taken, it wouldn't fly, by my friend, the old General Anokwenu. You know General Anokwenu?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, my very good friend. No, he wouldn't go by, so drove him all the way to Akosombo and say the Kunkromers lodge across the
dam.
The dam. And everything was, and then quickly, what's his name? Akufo began the move to remove the ban on politics, leave the ban. People began to organize, and we began the road towards hand over power to
the Third Republic,
a civilian government.
And then when Mr. Rawlings jumps,
then Rawlings comes and everything upside down.
May 15th, 79, June 4th.
May 15th, yes, exactly. And again, I mean, these are very interesting, but you learn lessons all along. At my age now, lessons I learned is for the benefit of those who are coming. I'm just finished.
I'm looking at the list of the generals and senior officers who were executed on June 26, 1979. Lieutenant General Akwesi Afrifa, you knew him personally?
Very well. Very well.
General Fred Akufo?
Very well.
Major General Robert Kote?
Well, but next door, from my house, you go to his house. My house where I live today.
Mm-hmm.
I know that my children were going to. We were neighbors. So I knew him extremely well. These were first-class officers of good quality.
Colonel Roger Felly?
Roger was my classmate.
In Sandhurst?
Yes.
Air Vice Marshal George Boachi?
George Boachi, a good friend of Air Force Commander. A very brave man.
And then Rear Admiral Joy Ameduba?
Ameduba, also my coursemate. I traveled with him to Britain. He went to Dartmouth. While I was in Sandhurst, they went to Dartmouth to attend naval training. And it's a very painful thing that we need to, unfortunately.
And the first executions was General Champo himself and Akufo. The first round of executions.
No, it was Champo and Utuka.
Utuka, sorry, beg your pardon.
Utuka.
You knew Utuka too?
Very well. The military is like a small family. There's no bilibi. No. Very frank, honest people.
Do you think their executions could have been avoided?
When we have these situations, it's very difficult to control them. I mean, when there's a revolution, what happened in Iran? They've killed so many people. You can't stop it. It's very difficult. So don't get in there. When there's hell to control, it's not easy. So I don't know how they could have avoided it. Rawlings, he himself was under arrest. Then others organized the thing to free him. He didn't even know what was going on. So how did he then come and take over and then decide on what to do in the heat of the revolution? There were demands here and there. Look at what's going on in Iran. How do you control that situation? It's chaos.
But you know, these executions happened 2 to 3 weeks after June 4th. By then, he must have been in control.
But then that was true. But the mood was anger. Anger was building. You see, it wasn't easy. But when they actually shot this group, and people were enjoying it. I mean, I was commandant. I was actually moved to Staff College at Teshi, and I was going to work in the morning. I didn't know that the decision of first of all of Kotoka and Achampo was that day. And at Teshi, over the bridge at Teshi.
Oh, you witnessed the execution?
No. But I was going to work. I was driving there. I saw people walking, women walking, to see the killing, the shooting.
Wow.
The mood was for more blood. Let the blood flow. At the early stages, it's when the second batch of killing took place, then there was a change of hearts to stop it.
I've heard it said that there was a third list which was never actioned.
I believe they had a list of more killing.
Wow.
Yes, but when the same people were demanding blood, for some reason, coil out of this, blood thing, and demanded for it to stop. The mood changed. Then people like Kanetichi, in front of me, there's a photograph in my house. They were lined up to be back to be shot. But when the mood changed, then they had to stop. Jerry then, but I can imagine the pressure on him. It's not. I don't think it's an easy thing.
You were quite close to him. Did he ever express regret?
Towards the, not for the killing. We never talk about the killing.
You never talked about it?
No. Later on, of course, he overthrew the man, then came back. I resigned myself.
Yes.
Then I came back after 10 years. Then we became very close. When you sit down with the two of us talking, you get the feeling that he had regretted the killing. That's not, because you find Ghana was the same. Ghana didn't change. He thought the killing will change things. Ghana would be a better country. But that didn't change. So what is the essence of the killing? What do you get out of the killing? What did you physically gain out of the killing? So I think that there was a bit of regret that the killing had been unnecessary.
And to talk of killing, your own friend, I think neighbor, Colonel Ninfu, and his wife.
That's another painful one.
Were your neighbors?
No, our children were playing together. His backyard was my front, so our children used to play together.
Was it the fact that he was president of the military tribunal that was trying Rawlings? Was that a reason probably why he was
Nobody
killed?
knows the reason, but that could be. I don't know whether they. I don't think they sent him to kill him for that reason. I don't believe. That the soldiers or whoever sent them. I myself, I was in the house when a friend called me. Kwame Wemega called me about 3:30, 4 o'clock to get out of my house. Well, there was this thing, coming. I didn't ask me questions. I said, so get out of my house and go away. Take him away in the night, 3:30, 4 o'clock. No, dig in and stay in there.
Is that when you climbed onto your roof?
Yes, to have a good knowledge of what was going on.
Because you have plants and things.
Well, it wasn't. A military man should be able to, take care of that. But I was there when there was what happened. I was there the whole day. The whole day.
It's on the June 4th area time.
That's right. There was a Reverend Bonnie, a Reverend Methodist priest. He came to the house, my house, going around. My wife and children were in the house there. But I was out, of course. I didn't see, but I was somewhere up there. And then he told my wife that this had happened. The Ninfu had been shot dead. First I got to know this. And this chap, I don't believe that anybody has seen that. I believe that. I look at the Ninfu. See, when you are around, or if I was around, I would be an object of shooting. I would be. My wife would be. My children would be able to shoot one another by mistake. So I took myself out of the scene. Because to come and shoot a woman with her children, small children, I mean, nobody would be callous enough to do that. But he was there.
Well, they killed his wife, Colonel Lincoln's
Yes.
wife, yeah.
And I mean, and the travel pilot told me later, one same bullet. I think when it was coming, the wife was following.
So the same bullet.
Yes, the same bullet.
This is like an AK-47. Those are really
Yes,
powerful
these are
guns,
very powerful weapon, and at close range go through.
You go through multiple people.
Like bread, and shot them.
Wow.
That's imagine the scene with these children.
Forever traumatized.
You say the son. What's his name? Nefo's son.
I don't know the history.
You know that was his son.
Yes, Felix.
Felix.
Yeah.
I met Felix too.
He was also shot. He was killed around Nima.
Yeah, at Nima.
Yeah, he was army commander.
Yes.
Trying to repel the June 4th.
He I don't know. He tried to fight the uprising, but he didn't have the requisite forces to fight. By himself alone, he couldn't fight. And whether I'd have done the same thing, I don't know whether, I don't know. I mean, maybe try to raise some forces to confront the mutineers. But in Nefo's case, I believe that I'm sure that they went to the house there, maybe shouting. So yes, I'm sure they were on
some narcotics.
Narcotics, shouting. And if I was a colonel then, he was a colonel, and so a soldier shouting on a colonel, I'm sure he would say do something. You have to be very quick thinking about this. I was serious long after everything had settled down. Coming to the airport, through the road, through Bama camp, to the back, to the airport. I was driving there when there was a roadblock. A lone soldier was at the roadblock. Obviously, he looked like a drunk. Then when my driver got there, he stopped the vehicle. Driver stopped. Said, "That's a chief of defense staff." This soldier said, and I could see that his one was on the trigger. Bullet was. The rifle pointed towards my car. Look at drunk. He said, "I want to see him." Now, if I behave insensibly, well, just pull the trigger, I am gone.
Yeah.
So I came out to the decision, come out. Said, "Thank you, sir." So
you saluted him?
Yeah, he saluted me.
He saluted you, okay.
Yes. So we went. If I tried to resist, it would have opened fire and I would be dead.
Yeah.
So in my case, look, leave the house. What if we're in the house there? You will attract attention. Woman, no person will come to my house, kill my wife and the children. But if we are there and start shouting, I won't be begging a soldier.
No.
I will say something, do something, like a military officer. That will, spur him on to open fire
and kill you.
Is that what happened? We couldn't tell.
So June 4th happens, and then you are made CDS, correct?
They made one down Pra. There was a bit of confusion. Kill all the top of the military. Retirement of the very senior ones. So Dan Pra became CDS. He was a colonel. And then about 2 weeks later, after the June 4th, I was asked when Major Gwedam, I don't know whether you know him, he came to me to inform me that they were going to appoint me as CDS. If the first time told me, So then the appointment came. And I actually set my office at the Ministry of Defense. They were based at the Arakan Barracks, going to Gonda Barracks. So I didn't have much to do with them.
Did you feel conflicted about being Chief of Defense Staff for these mutineers?
Did I?
Were you at peace in your heart? Considering what you knew and what had happened?
Ghana was, you have to put Ghana. I mean, I was in a hurry that they should hand over power and go, which they did. You have to be very careful handling these things. You have to be able to, the way that, in anger, you don't do something and then have a fire,
Firestorm.
Firestorm. You don't want that. So manage them in a way that gradually they got them to go on courses. Everybody went, except General Rawlings said he wouldn't go anywhere. But send everybody on course abroad to give the new government, which had come to power. Eventually, the demands had been voted to power when they came. So by September, power went to the man and his government, And
then you got retired.
Who?
Were you retired early?
No, but one NPP came to power and someone advised them that wasn't safe for them. Rawlings stayed behind. He said, we're going away.
No, when PNP, when Liman's party came to power?
Yes.
Yes.
The man came to power with Raleigh Poku, the Minister for Defense. They were not, I mean, I had a problem with Raleigh Poku. I knew I wouldn't stay long. I knew that I wouldn't succumb to his, he behaved as if he was in charge of the military. The Minister of Defense. But the President, the Commander-in-Chief. So there was argument every day, and I knew that I would not give in to my position. And he would not give in. So I wasn't supposed to mention, they said they retired us. I don't know what I meant.
Yes, it was in your book.
You know.
Well, how do you feel? Were you pained?
I was, of course, a bit of anger.
Because you, President Rawlings, former President Rawlings, and then General Kwenu, you were all retired.
Yeah. And the way they did it, I mean, first of all, my age was what, 42. 42, a young boy. I mean, 20 years in the military, 21, 22 years. Never seen him in real military action. But I moved very fast. And the way they did it was the annoying part. Have the courage. You see, when we have to learn lessons from all these. Get people to advise you. I don't know, they could have got people to advise them. You know, is this right? And they'll be taking a decision. But if they took the decision they took, and the way they did it, they didn't have the courage to. Professor Nabila, you know him.
He's a chief now.
He's a chief.
Yes.
I tried to call him, but I couldn't get. A few days I tried to call him, but I can't get hold of him. He was the secretary to the president. So eventually, the man got me to the office. Or somebody called me, see the president about 10:30, 11. I got there. After about 11, 12, 1 o'clock, I didn't see anybody. Then I began to feel that there was something sinister cooking. So I went to Nabila. Office wasn't far. He was a bit confused. I said, President, he called me to come and say, President, where is he? And I behaved as if he didn't know where he was. But they all knew. But they didn't have the courage. If I do something stupid, do it well. So he was afraid. Then he said, okay, President, I followed him, open the door. President, what do you call it? Liman's door. He wasn't in there, but he knew he wasn't. He knew, but he couldn't tell me. And so let's go and see the Vice President, the Gav Johnson. You want him. And he was a fancy man, and I could speak very good fancy. When I got to him, he too was behaving like an idiot. You know, like a fisherman from a sea and cooking some fish or something. He said, we are trying to retire you. That's like that. I said, retire me. Okay, thank you very much. I was going. They said, have a seat that we can discuss your re-employment somewhere. And I said, Dad, sit down, take your bloody work, and then I'm very annoyed.
Yeah, understandably so.
Yes, very annoyed. Then I stormed out. I left and I stormed out. But it wasn't proper. If you wanted something, handle it properly. It wasn't very badly handled.
Yeah.
And I think that Trump is even in America. So the way he's handling them. I don't know whether he's being advised or they are afraid to talk to him.
I wonder how President Rawlings was also retired and General Kwenu. Did they ever share with you?
That night, that day, 27th of November or thereabout, I was in my house. It rained very heavily that night. At my house when I saw a figure coming to my house, Rawlings in uniform, walking through the rain. And then when he came, he was very annoyed. He said, sir, you advised me to hand over power to these people. See what they have done to you. He asked for some drink. I have some black label.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. I opened it. He poured quite a heavy
shot.
And then said, thank you, sir. They walked to the rain. I don't know why he passed. But I knew that the anger with which he came, there would be trouble for Liman. I didn't know that the way to go. I knew there would be trouble.
How about General Kwenu? You know how he was?
Kwenu was actually in the bar. They were very callous. I'm doing something, even if it's painful, do it as sensibly. They don't know how to handle these things. Kwenu was actually in Brown going on. They sent him on a mission. They were maybe afraid that he should go out and fire from Accra. But when he was there, and this another came, Kwenu didn't know that he'd been actually retired. So the soldiers who were there with him, they had it.
They knew before him?
Before him.
No.
You know, even mine too. when that day when they retired me, there was a Africa Cup qualifying game between Ghana and Kenya. And during the game, there was interruption about flash news.
Okay. News flash.
Announcing that the chief of defense staff and the army commander Rawlings had all been retired. I didn't know. So when I was coming out of the castle, the soldiers who were there, they knew about it.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Not good.
No. I mean, these are things I'm saying that we should do things properly. I mean, the way that they took Maduro and his wife and I mean, I didn't know.
Lack of respect.
Yeah, it's not right.
And so when the December 31st coup happened, you were not surprised?
I wasn't surprised.
Did you know about the planning of that coup?
No, I had no idea.
Okay.
I had no idea, but I wasn't surprised. I knew nothing about it.
And then you get a second appointment again to be CDS?
Then Rawlings immediately called me to reappoint me and Ano Kwenu as CDS and Army Commander.
The positions that they had retired you from?
Yes.
They put you back?
Put me back for the second time. It was tough, but I thought Ghana was, someone is trying to call me, Ghana was in difficulty, so I should put Ghana first. And so that Ghana could be stabilized. I planned to go. But Ghana was, it was a difficult time. So let's make sure Ghana, there was this revolution and the soldiers had been empowered by the coming back again, and it was very rough, And for someone like me, that level of the armed forces, having to work with Akatapori and our team and all the characters, they were not properly trained. To work with them was difficult, but you have to make it work. Because Ghana's future was at stake. You have to secure Ghana's future. Then later on, you can decide to make your way when Ghana was. So as soon as Ghana actually became, this was actually up to June 30th when they killed the judges.
And the Major Aqua, who you knew?
Whom I knew. That was actually pushed me out of. I couldn't take anymore. I couldn't take anymore. That was, and then it's another. I mean, it's a very difficult period to kill these people. That wasn't my game. The army, I joined. Don't go and killing people, in peacetime like that, So I made up my mind to go.
Did you tell President Rawlings that you wanted to leave? Did you tell Chairman Rawlings?
No, I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him. I mean, Rawlings was torn between. There were two factions in the PNDC. My faction was quite gentle side.
Who were the people on your side?
I was there. There was Mr. This fisherman, what do you call him?
Mankwaje?
Mankwaje. Did you ever know him?
I know about the fisheries. Mankwaje Fisheries was
Mankwaje was
a big company in Tama.
Yes. He was a sane man. Then there was there were very few, but the rest were almost all left wing, thoughts. Generals at that level don't become left wing. I mean, you moderate your thoughts. So I wasn't the one who was. Then of course Kojo was there.
Chikata.
And and then we have a man called Amate Kwei. No, not Amate Kwei. There was Amate Kwei. There was also some Kwei. An old man. So there were two clear wings of the party. So obviously we were divided. Jerry Rawlings was torn between the two factions. I think he couldn't make up his mind, where he wanted to play to both sides, but it didn't help. So when the judges were killed, I said, look, enough was enough. I mean, I must, get out of this thing. But I couldn't say anymore. So by 27th of November, one night, I just got up, put a pen to paper.
Was that not on the anniversary of the day you were retired? 27th November?
November 27th, yeah. What was that?
I
didn't even know.
Yeah.
Anniversary.
27th November.
Yeah, you are right.
79 is when you were retired.
You are right.
And then 82, 27th November.
That's right.
That's when you left.
That's right. So, this is, we're still in a confused state.
And then you went off to the UK for 10 years.
I stayed for a year. I went because I've done intelligence work a lot, so I'm always, when I'm driving and you are following me, I want to know who are following me. I'll take a few turns and then see whether the car is still following me. So I don't know. I'm sure I mentioned it. There was Major Dua. Major Dua was an evangelist, but I'm officer, a very seasoned army officer, of the old school. And then one he came to me one night, one early morning, to warn me that my life was in danger, that I should leave the country. It was in June 1983. And he gave me enough. I've seen evidence of some crooked, I mean, this Iranian thing. A report has gone to Trump. I don't know whether you heard the name. Trump report of military action as well as another action. I believe that they will getting the military to assassinate their people. This is other action talking about plan to assassinate them. The problem will not go in for full-scale military invasion, but the Israelis will be the Mossad and then the others will go on assassinating these people. That's what I believe they will do. So this man said, and I've seen signs that people could easily hurt me. When a man advised me, I wasn't surprised. Prepared to go. And I don't know what I went. I didn't go to my duty, but I left on the 5th of August 1983. My father died in June, buried him. Off I went. I prepared to send my wife and everything. So they joined me, but I was already gone. I went daytime. I didn't go anywhere. I just drove to. When we were done this intelligence, it helped a lot. Know how to plan these things. Use old teachings I've had in the past, lessons there, and apply them. I want to tell her, by the evening, I'm gone. Within a few days, my wife and children, the pilot, the manager of British Caledonia was very good. I mean, I was kind to him. He became my personal friend. So my wife and children, get them visa, and off they went. That's how we restarted our life.
In the UK.
After all this chaos.
Yes, indeed. And you spent about 10 years abroad?
Exactly 10 years. 10 years. I was there. You were there on the 5th I left of August. Came back in 93, 10 years.
Into the Fourth Republic?
Into the Fourth Republic.
And then you became associated with Nana Akufo.
Yes. The thing is that when I was away, I was still in good terms with the PNDC. Very good terms. I mean, I wasn't fighting anybody. So when we returned to the Fourth Republic, I said, look, we are now having a democratically elected government. That is one assurance that there won't be anything without law behind you. So it's safe enough to come to Ghana. And I have no problem. Then we had this.
But why did you join the NPP though? You were associated with AFRC and PNDC. Why did you join NPP?
I think I mentioned of that. The point is that I had left the PNDC in anger. I had to go independent as a political, party politician. And I said, man, independent, who's going to listen to you? It's difficult enough to join a party, let alone go as independent candidate. So joining the ADC was out of the way.
Why?
But I couldn't join. I had fought with them and then come back and join them. So I said, okay, then try the Nana Akufo. I knew him. He hadn't been a friend aside. First of all, my background, where I'm coming from, and then where they are coming from, it wasn't easy to work together. I mean, this is a fisherman's son, and these are all bourgeois
lawyers and intellectuals.
But for convenience, I joined them. I joined them just as for convenience. During the campaign, I'm sure 1996 election, an incident took place in Winneba. The NDC was very strong. The Rawlings had built this very strong. And I was campaigning for the NPP. I was a candidate for the NPP. I went to the beach. There was a woman there carrying a baby. Woman looked very scruffy, very hungry, tired, scruffy. And as soon as we got to where she was shouting on top of her voice. We should go away. He didn't want to hear us speak. We should go away. So the team I had was upset. I said, you go, I'm just coming. Then I walked near to her. And in our language, I spoke to her. And I said to her, you know what? I'm not here because of you. I'm here because of your baby. Look at your baby. Can't you see your baby is very hungry? Can't you see? Look at your baby. And then she kept quiet. It was very hungry. So when I said, look, I'm not here because of you, because of your baby. That's why I'm talking. I talked and talked, and she kept very quiet, said nothing. Then I went away. Next day, we came the same area to continue with our campaign. And I saw this woman following me. And I said, but you, yes, I talked to you. He said, they didn't want to listen to me. Why are you here? Then she said something very revealing. She said, what did you say yesterday when I went to sleep? I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about it. So I've come back to let you know I will vote for you. Look at me, very revealing. She had, that night, when I said, look at your baby, is very hungry. Look at your breast. You're not making your breast. Don't you feel sorry for yourself? It really hit her like a bullet. So I've come to you, I'll vote for you. That was very revealing to me that you can convince people if you have good arguments to not, singing. No. People are now beginning to reason. And this poor woman, I don't know whether she voted for me, but her saying that I've come back and I'll vote for you was quite interesting to me. But the election itself, it wasn't worth it. I mean,
was the result close?
Was close enough, but I couldn't have won. Look, the kind of cheating that goes on in election anyway.
You saw it, Philly, eh?
I mean, one polling station, when the results came, the pink sheet came. In West, NDC 60.
Mm-hmm.
Then MPP something. When I came to the total at the bottom of the thing, when I put 2 in figures in front of the 60 to become 260. And nobody will go and tell.
Pure fraud.
No. I mean, I said this game is dirty.
Did you see bribery and corruption?
No, I mean they did it, but the only this thing was easily
the number.
The number we have put
just put a 2 in front of the 60.
260.
All of a sudden you go from 60 to 260.
Then I said, this game
it's not for you.
It's not for me. I mean, it's too dirty. No, you go to the army, they teach you how to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What about the military? Cheating the army is out of the way. That you have to be reliable.
So that was the 96 election.
Yes.
And then what happened in 2000?
I didn't understand. 2000, I didn't understand. No. Then what happened?
That's the election that brought in President Akufo.
Yes. President Akufo. No. Yeah. What happened? Yeah, that's true. That broke on the point. Where was I? Did I campaign for Akufo? I don't think I campaigned for him. And I was getting tired of it. Then I've actually become disillusioned with our elections. It's not worth dying for. It's too dirty. So we are here now. Now where do you go from here?
That's the question.
That's the problem.
You ended up working with President Mills too. You ended up working with President Mills as well.
Yes. What happened?
What was the story behind that?
The story behind that is I became disillusioned with everybody. So I'm looking for somebody clean. When you go to a place like Sangers and train, you become sanitized. You become, anything that you don't like, you want to say. So one day there was when Mess was advised to the Rawlings at the M Plaza. There was an event there, 2008. Then I went there. I think I was doing something. I went there to see this.
But then he was a candidate.
He was a candidate,
yeah,
exactly.
Rawlings had left.
That's right. And then that's when I began to know him. Then Rawlings invited me and others at Atta Mils to his house. About August or Queenie was there, a few other people were there. Akufo was out of the country. He was the president, out of the country. Then he heard about this meeting. He was a bit annoyed, you know. Meanwhile, his brother, very well connected with his brother,
Dr. Akufo.
he called me about 2 days ago to thank me for helping him when he became Minister of Defense. He was not my advice, and he thanked me for that. But Akufo himself, he got angry, and then...
You think he was scared that a whole bunch of military officers,
retired
military officers, meeting with a successful coup maker?
Exactly. He was scared. But Rawlings was quite plain. He didn't say anything terrible. He just thanked the military. There was a bit of hanky-panky business between NDC and NPP. And he mentioned me. He said, General, you are with the NPP. I don't want trouble. I want us to have a nice, clean election. So advise your people. We want, peace. And we didn't say anything. Akufo heard this and he got angry.
Who were the people in the meeting, apart from you and General
Quenu? There was a lot of military officers. Quite a few of them.
Held at Mr. Rawlings' insistence. He called the meeting.
The meeting, I had a call from Rawlings himself. I'd been speaking to him to attend.
But did he chair the meeting when you went there? Was he the chair of the meeting?
What happened to the meeting? Yes. Rawlings, it wasn't formal. It was just the lunch and we ate and he said a few words.
But this was at Burma Camp?
No, at his house.
At Rawlings' house?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
At Ridge. Not Burma Camp.
Okay.
At Ridge. And...
so what was President Kufuor's reaction?
He reacted very badly. I think he was scared about the meeting. Scared about the military officers coming together. Then he issued a ban that people like me, mentioned a few names, were banned from entering military barracks.
But you didn't have the meeting in the military barracks?
No, military barracks. Our meeting
was at Rawlings' house?
At Rawlings' house. Okay. The idea that the meeting was with Rawlings scared him.
But there were no current serving officers in that meeting?
Not this current one. No, they were retired.
They were all retired meeting?
They were retired. Okay. They were police, they were military, but they were all retired.
Okay.
None of them was serving. Which was a good thing. But Akufo was scared, and then issued this order. It was CDS. There was this, what the CDS was anyway. But, I come to Atta Mils. Atta Mils, I found him, and but it was very pleasant, Atta Mils.
What was your role within his administration?
Field advisor.
Okay.
In fact, when from that time, I talked to him and asked him, and then we had a meeting in my house, the small house. He was there with me. And I advised him, I said, look, I'm not here, I don't have the money to support you, I'm not a money man, but morally I'm behind you. Some small amount of money. It's not something that I should be proud of, but just let you know that my spirit is behind you. So when he won, of course, I took part. Rawlings and I went to the last vote at
Tyne.
I was there with Rawlings.
You were in Tyne?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Tyne was fantastic. Then you had this thing would decide this vote.
Yes. It was going to decide the whole election.
Decide the whole election. And Rawlings came there to... Rawlings and I went to pound fufu or something. It was just a morale booster, and but I think the NPP knew that they wouldn't win the election. That Trump was going to win. Not Trump, Atta Mils.
Yeah.
And then when he won, I went to see my Kuku here, and then he said, General, I said, I'm very grateful. But what do they want to do?
Oh, he asked you directly?
Yes. And I said, I just want to be I've been in the military all my life, in intelligence, in security and intelligence, somewhere that I can be close to you and whisper to you when something was going wrong. Then he said, you are my security advisor.
Right there?
Yes, right there.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's why,
What's the best piece of advice you gave him in terms of intelligence and security?
Best piece of advice?
Yes. Which he took?
He took most of what I said, he took them. I was very close to him, and he would call me, sit down with him like this, have a chat. Very frank.
Were you behind the Ziwufiasem statement that he made?
Exactly behind it.
You were behind
Exactly behind it.
Mind your own business.
Mind your own business.
This was
This
Ivory Coast.
Ivorian issue.
Ivorian issue.
He called me one day in the morning and said the APP were keen to, and blaming the NDC for supporting Gbagbo, in the Ivorian crisis.
Yes.
And then I was there with him one morning, early morning, and then he asked me to call Gbagbo, first one.
So you called Gbagbo?
Gbagbo. I was sitting there with him, I was sitting there. And he told Gbagbo, I said, tell him that they have to hold the country together. No matter whatever happens, Ivory Coast Cote d'Ivoire must survive. So they should do nothing to destroy the country. That we want peace rather than war. So he spoke to him quite a bit in French, through an interpreter. When he finished, he called Ouattara, and he spoke to Ouattara speaks good English. Spoke to him, and similarly.
Similar sentiments.
Because, we want peace. We don't want any hanky-panky business. So the press were eager. I mean, one of the other press were eager to know the position of. In fact, what happened was that the ECOWAS military commanders met in Abuja to draw plans to invade Cote d'Ivoire and install Ouattara by force. That's why that said, look, don't go that way. We don't need war. That war will not do any good. So avoid the war and don't be part of this invading
another country.
No, that will not go down well. That's what I advise him against the Wufi. Then he came and talked to the press at the castle there, telling them the Wufi asset, not our. And I think that eventually the French actually moved in there and then did what they did.
Yeah, took back what.
But for Ghana to go and take sides and fight a war with the military across the border, I mean, that doesn't make sense. That, I think, one of the best things that I actually told him to do, which he did. Maybe one or two other things. There was this case about the Brown Afro having a problem with the shanties. I don't know whether you remember that. And it's almost at war, the shanties and the Brown. I came to the house from the castle. Where was it? No, he called me to his office and said, look, Kukumasi right now. Go and talk to Santangini to cool things down. You know him very well. You will talk to him. I can stay with Santangini for 2 hours, 3 hours. You can talk like this. You go and talk to him. Then I got to say Katia and Amakunuama and a few other people. Took a plane and flew to Kumasi around 4:30. Went to Mansia, safe from the airport. Then he was at meeting with his
chiefs,
elders, and they were wearing this war dress, this collar. It's not red. It's a kind of they're wearing that one.
Battle dress, traditional battle dress.
That's right. And then the young youth were drumming, and actually they were in a war mood. So I got in there with all my team and told him, look, if when I come here, I smile today. I know there's hunger. I've been sent to you by the president. Mama angry. Please let it cool. Then I smile. I know that. Then
things are cooling down.
The next morning, I went to Brunhafu. Techaman saw the Techaman who had arrested. There were 2 chiefs at
Tuobodom.
And one was loyal to the Asantehene. One was loyal to the one who was loyal to Asantehene. The Techaman had destroyed him. After removed his
sandals,
which was a declaration of war. So you needed cool heads to dampen things. And I think that Atta Mils needed someone like me who had access to these people, a bit of respect from them. That's how you got on with something.
Yeah.
Things cool down.
What was the impact of his death on you?
First of all, anybody, I knew he was going. I used to sit next to him. I could feel that he wasn't very well. I could feel it, So when it was going, like somebody you live close to, you can see the person is going down. So it wasn't a big shock or surprise. It was very painful. We went to church on Sunday with my daughter Amanda at the castle. Normally he would come to the church. That day he didn't come. It's when he finished the church, his brother, what's his name?
Cadman.
And Cadman organized us to meet with him outside the church, inside the castle there. But you could see that the man wasn't feeling well at all. To shake hands with him. He was tired. He was very tired. He was almost going. So later I called Cadman and said, why did you bring your brother when you knew that he was in this pain to meet us? For what? Man needed rest. Maybe a doctor by his side or something. Anyway, so the next day then I was told that he had packed. Was it Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday? Yeah.
Because he celebrated his birthday over the weekend and then he passed away.
Yes.
On the
24th.
24th.
On Sunday I was with him in the castle there. Either Monday or Tuesday.
He passed.
It was a painful thing. I mean, it was shocking. But
professionally, that impacted your role within the government, didn't it?
I know I mentioned, but
yes.
When that took place, of course, Muhammad took over as president.
Yeah.
And things began to unravel. The whole team that he had picked, Atta Mils had picked, somehow Muhammad couldn't find convenient to work with them, with us.
Do you understand his reasoning?
I had to use my experience to understand it. That you were maybe too experienced for him to handle. I mean, I wouldn't just do it because he's saying I should do it. But one of the people that you can control. So as I understood it, I'm making this, maybe I don't know what I'm making, but I understood that sometimes there's nothing wrong, but the man just didn't find it easier to work with us. And I think I don't blame him for that. I've mentioned it somewhere.
Was it a loss? Because President Mills had many experienced people of your ilk.
Tony Edu,
yes.
Beho, Bwebelate, and all these people were quite experienced. And I think the dismantling of that team, did harm him.
Was it smooth? I mean, were you told formally that
it was not very? It was very badly done. That's what very badly done.
Echoes of Liman's time. Was it that on that level?
No, the man wouldn't talk. The man wouldn't talk. I was building O'Reilly. This was when he began to dismantle the team. I was building O'Reilly. Then I had a call on my phone.
The school, you were building the school, O'Reilly School, secondary school, yes. Then you had a call.
A call from the secretary, Dr. Yeah, the secretary, I don't know I've forgotten the name. His present secretary, John Mahama.
The one who is president now? His secretary now?
No.
No, okay. Back then?
Back then. He called me and said, President, I decided to change my position. I was angry. I mean, I'm driving, I'm going to build a school to enhance his reputation. Then you're driving in town to call me and say you wanted to change my position when I'm driving. You call me and you have a seat. What do you want to drink? And then find a way to. They don't know how to handle things like that.
That would have been the Sandhurst way, right?
Yes. Like Maduro, the way they handle it.
Yeah, nothing really irks you. You don't like it at all.
No, I don't like because the man, he was head of state. Not with any criminal offense. You have some, but what right do you have to go and board him out of his bedroom with his wife and move them and with them? I think it's a common criminal.
Yeah.
Even if he was, but you haven't actually proven anything. The same thing Mahama handled, And then Edu and others, he began to dismantle. I think he couldn't. This man, his name, Baba Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't meet him.
No.
He was a terrible man. He allowed him to he has a very bad mind, and disorganized his team. But Mr. Newman, Mr. Newman, Newman, Kafui Dey, and all these people, he couldn't cope with them. But I think that experienced team helped. What's the name?
Prison Mills.
Yes, a lot. So if I kept them for at least for a few months.
At least to end the election, right?
Exactly.
Because he died in July and the election was in December.
That's right. But it began to quickly change them.
So what did they give you? What position
It
did they?
didn't change me, but what it did was to dilute my position. First of all,
because you were National Security Advisor, correct?
Advisor.
And then now you're new.
He changed me to become Human Security Coordinator.
Reporting to who?
Reporting to who? That's another matter. You see, the whole thing was done in a rush, not properly, and there was no need for that. No need to rush it. We have taken continue and then have time to plan properly. And I know that life must move on. If before the election, or even after you have won the election, you have changed the team, people understand it. But immediately began to dismantle the whole team. I didn't help him. I don't think I did.
So, Human Security Coordinator, what were you responsible for?
I love the work. I was actually doing this education and other things, building. I love it. In providing infrastructure for schools and so on. So using my money. I mean, most of my money. As a CDS, you live on your pension, and then you are paying me like a minister. Good. So if you want a problem, you can go very far. But then, he didn't know what to do with you. He didn't know what to do with me. I found myself a role to play.
Yeah. Did he ever meet you after the turnover, after the President Mills died?
Did he?
Did he meet you to?
He's not a man of courage. He cannot look at your face. He will do harm, but he will hide and bite you. He can't show his teeth and bite you openly.
Which of our presidents did that? Who was able to show his teeth and bite you?
I mean, it's a common.
President Rawlings, he couldn't show you his teeth and bite.
Rawlings was actually driven by if you did something bad to somebody, and you are going to be held accountable. You do a problem. I'll call you. Say, can we have a seat? What have you eaten today? Have a chat. And then tell you, look, at your age, I want to keep you to train my team so that as you ease out, like if you were December, you did this. By the time you go, you have trained
a team of people. You didn't get that.
I regret business using someone like you. But life must go on. I mean, time that a man understand. But if you just do it crudely and just that, then I think that they don't have any good training to handle matters like this. Like Trump is doing. Maybe the pressure on them is great. A lot of pressure on them.
Did you become bitter though after your role was diluted?
A few things made me angry. I don't think we have still even properly recovered from that. At the conference center, there was an award given to me by some church group for my humanitarian work. I invited him to come. I wrote a speech for the president to deliver. The one was coming. So was the current vice president. Was I think just of education.
She was Minister for Education.
That's right. But he never came. He never even wrote. He never said, yes, didn't mind me. The one kept on ringing me. He said, you are ready. Can we come? A lot of pressure on me. He wouldn't, if you want to ring, nobody would pick up the phone. He just completely ignored you. So I knew that there's a problem with that. There's another one. Old Raleigh, I opened Raleigh, I invited him. Again, so about 3 or 4 times, it's been like this, you know. And I don't waste my time to worrying about these things. I just forget about them. But it doesn't. The team is not. I don't know. Ghana as a whole, we have opposition now. The NPP, they are trying to pull the ladder down, bring the government down, you know, and you cannot succeed as a nation.
How is his second coming going so far?
No, the problems are not as big. There are big problems. I don't believe we're not telling the truth as it should be told. You have the courage to speak the truth. That's what I've seen. There's somebody dying. It's so painful, but you can't tell that the person is dying. You have the courage to say it, but they can't say it. It's not their fault. The problem is it's big. It's very big.
But it is not insurmountable.
It's not. If you have the technology to understand what you are facing, and then and trying to divide and rule, I would want to bring opposition. When I what's his name, the Rawlings school was in Nigeria, where I said hand over
to whom?
Because they were asking me, and I think they were trying to build a government of national unity. But Korean and others undermined me and cut me, and then the idea was to try and bring everybody together and build this government. Without unity, as we are trying to build, others are trying to pull you down. How can you succeed? You know, that's the problem we are facing today. It's going to be very difficult. Those young people who are now unemployed, I can see many of them, and they are, and I really feel terrible. How to map their way through this life? I don't know how you can do it.
Yeah.
People are finished school. I mean, I left school, suffering, got army, became serious, easy like that. It was tough, but the way it was there.
It's not
Today,
so now.
Not so now.
So I'm glad you've written this book. You know, your memoirs.
Yeah.
I don't follow the crowd. And throughout our conversation, I've seen that you are able to, you are willing to stand on your own if you believe in something.
That's right.
And you don't follow the crowd.
Because somebody is doing it, I'm doing it. No. If what he's doing makes sense to me, makes sense to me, and I can justify it, then I will do that. But not because this one is doing it, so I'm also doing it. And I found out from my beginning, my parents, my relations, to be the odd one out to go to get to school and then struggle on your own along the way. You know. So that is what. But when you believe something is not going right, be bold enough
To say it.
to say it, because he's not helping our leader. Akufo do these things. Muhammad will do things. People will say it's okay. And if you know that you have a little anxiety, point it out.
Yeah. What was his greatest achievement, President Akufo?
I'm trying hard to think of one. I can't find one. I'm trying to find. Maybe you can give me one. Which one do you think?
Well, I'm only asking the question.
I'm trying to find, but I can't find.
What were the challenges? What do you think prevented him from achieving what he would have?
I think that they were in there for their own interest. They were not there for Ghana. People are not in this job for the people. They are not. Many of them are not. How would I get a Kafui and go all the way to Mori? They're still calling me. They still call me to that their bump has broken. I said, I'm no more in the government. I'm tired. I'm an old man. I can't be that way. You know, the commitment is not there.
You want to see more commitment from national leaders?
We become very selfish. And I don't. The problem is big enough to solve. So I haven't eaten, so I should feed somebody else when I haven't eaten. So I can understand them. But they have to try and then extend a hand. Over the last 2 days or so, I've been sick. They demand on me. People, a certain young boy, he's the son of my brothers, my late brothers, he's actually a grandson. He was doing some work and boy said, basa, I brought him down. He said he wanted to study something. And when they finished studying, there was nothing for them to do. This is what worries me. So I think the government needs to sit up, people and say, look, please, put your heads together. How do we move the nation forward? This is our illegal mining, destroying our water bodies. They're still going on. Are they getting on top of the problem? Who are? And I can understand them. I have no job to do. I'm digging gold to survive. You say I shouldn't stop and go and eat what? So he could have got a few, but I can't find anybody around. Good brains, military brains, even those who are younger, a bit longer than us, to come together and see how best they can help. You can't take them from what they are doing to nothing. They have to be doing something.
That's not possible.
But there's nothing. So they should go away. How do they survive? I saw a little girl from Burkina or something, not Burkina, begging on my traffic light 2 days ago. And in the sun, and the one who was carrying the baby at the back was begging in the sun. I said, see, they worry me. And you say we are solving it. I know that in 2-3 years' time, my time will come. The problem will be worse.
Is that why you wrote this book?
Who?
You.
I began writing this book about 40 years ago. About 40 years ago, this book. And the reason was that my son, Fred, one day he asked me, Daddy, but I know you're my daddy. I don't know anything about you. So I began writing about more than 40 years ago. And I wanted to be the story of my life. But I'm still alive. So I wanted to wait as long as I could. and
to update it.
So that I died. So the book has to come out. No, try to delay it. I think that getting to 90 is, I don't know anybody has written a book at the age of 90.
Yeah. You're quite unique.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a good time because you have a lot to look back to.
Yes. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And if I had not put this down, I would have forgotten. But I've been jotting them down over the years.
So you've remembered everything.
To remember them. Okay. But it's been a wonderful experience.
It has been.
And if I can get the youth to take interest in their own future, they're sitting down now. And the situation is getting pretty hard. I mean, your children, you ask yourself, I was lucky that sometimes disappointment could be a blessing. This school that I left the country, this my boy, as a life has been a little easier being abroad, even though I wasn't there. They applied for British citizenship. I didn't know. They applied, and they were given. It was much easier then. Then I applied for, when I went to university, I couldn't pay. I had to fight with the council to get them to accept to pay their fees and so on. It was a big battle. So I paid not even 1 peso, 1p. And medical teaching is quite expensive.
Yes, indeed. So the citizenship helped? Indeed.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say to the next generation before we end this conversation?
The next generation, I would say the world is becoming extremely rough. They should sit down and think that somebody will build their future for them. They have to get involved. They shouldn't sit down and fold their arms and say that I can do nothing. You can do something. If from that time, I was nobody, nothing, and managed to crawl my way through hard days, I could sit down when it was raining at one point in time, everything was leaking, and get to somewhere. With hard work and dedication, they can get somewhere. They shouldn't sit down and think that nothing can be done. Because the world is busy. Nobody has time for anybody. So, but they should have time for themselves.
Excellent.
And build a future good enough for themselves and their children.
I'm going to end this conversation by reading the last paragraph of your excellent book. I leave you with this thought. Every one of us is writing a memoir in real time. with our daily choices shaping the story others will read one day. Live in such a way that when your book is written, it will not merely recount the roles you played, but will reveal the principles you lived by. That, in the end, is the true measure of a life well lived. This has been my path. If my story has spoken to you, may it strengthen yours. From my memoirs, I Don't Follow the Crowd, authored by Brigadier General Joseph Nunoo Mensah, with a foreword by Lieutenant General Obed Boama Aqua, one time his aide-de-camp, and Dr. Eric Don Arthur, one time his classmate. General,
God bless you immensely.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
What is a general's salute? I'm just curious.
That's right.
What is a general's salute?
General salute. When you occupy certain positions
Yes.
in the military,
Mm-hmm.
you get that salute
Okay.
meant for generals.
Okay.
You don't have to be a general.
Okay.
But once you occupy the position of Chief of Defense Staff,
Mhm.
of Army Commander, you deserve to be honored with a general salute.
What does it look like?
You are given a guard of honor
Uh-huh.
as you enter a military barracks,
Right.
and then give you this special. It's not anybody who gets general salute,
Yes.
and it must be an honor to you
Indeed.
to be getting a general salute from a quarter guard, a guard at any institution of the military that you enter. So I leave you with my thoughts that Ghana will be a better country for you and your children, our descendants, and may God bless us all for now and evermore. Thank you.
Amen. Really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
General Nunoo Mensah's conversation right here. Let's meet in the comments. My name is Kafui Dey. God bless.
Thank you.
General,
Yes.
thank you.
God bless you.
The whole world has been trying to call you.
The whole world.
You are still in demand.
Well, we will do our best for the nation. And I always kept the country in mind, whatever I do. We need a lot of love. Our society needs all of us.
Yeah.
It's now 5 what. So let me leave you.
I have to take you back.
Yes.
I can't leave the general
No, you can't leave me.
midstream.
You can't leave me here. So I wish all of you, So we will see the first.
We'll let you know. My team will
Work it
let you
out.
know, and then we'll air it, and then
That's right.
I'll alert you.
That's right.
Yes, you'll be getting lots of calls from your friends when they see it, I'm sure.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
What will interest them especially?
Oh, your frankness. You say it as it is.
Well, that's how to me it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Anyway, one time Lord Mountbatten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The British general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He commanded the Allied troops in Burma in 1945.
45. Yeah.
He was the officer who reviewed our personal parade
Nice. And at Ernest.
in Atta Mils, yes,
Mhm,
1963.
Nice.
Yeah, Lord Mountbatten,
Six-
Admiral Mountbatten.
Okay.
But he was
was an-
sadly
he was-
killed by the IRA.
Yes. Blown up.
by the IRA.
Blown up. He was a Navy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a terrible way. It's a terrible place.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And we need to create more love. I
Yeah.
don't like, as we speak, Putin is killing people, blowing them up.
It's crazy.
You know,
We need more love.
we need more.
There was a Beatles song like that. All we need is love.
Yes,
Back in the 60s or so.
that's right. All this love.
I'm
It's true.
Yeah. I'm curious. I understand there are different kinds of salutes. Like Navy people salute differently from Army people and from Air Force. Is it correct?
I know the Army. I know the salute are different. They're different.
The Army one is the open hand.
Open hand.
Like
That's
this.
right. That's right.
Who does this?
The Air Force.
Air Force.
Does that.
Okay. How about
The
Navy?
Navy. I don't know how the palm is.
But the Army one is open.
Open palm.
Okay. Why?
I don't know whether you have to go to the computer to find out the meaning of those salutes.
Mm,
Why some
Like
open
this.
the palm.
This is Air Force.
Air Force, yes.
Okay. Okay.
There will be explanation for this.
There must be. I'll go and do my research.
That's right.
And I'll report back to
That's right.
the general.
Thank you. And God bless you.
God bless you too, sir.
Immensely.
Immensely too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look at yourself. The thing, I can shave 10 years off your age. I look like I'm 40.
Who?
Me. Look at it. Don't you look 80 or 70?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know what I do. I'm too old.
You're not too old.
I used to know.
You're wise.
Whew. I didn't feel old, but now I feel that I'm getting tired.
Really? You feel it in your bones?
I mean, I'm doing too much.
You need to slow down.
I need to slow down. That's right.
You need an aide de camp.
Yeah.
An ADC.
The burden of life. As you get older, and then your relations
are burdening you.
Yeah.
We're feeling it small.
Yeah. Kafui.
Oh, General Nunoo Mensah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.